Site-314 returns with the second edition, which is backward on the stream, but you can all see it normally. We have a few returning cast members and a bunch of new faces. All right, so going around, because I don't have name cards or anything in this. Delano Aiden, you are already watching it on the channel with all the other stuff. Tempest
Angel on TikTok, Tempest Angel Gaming on Twitch.
All right, you two.
I am Winter Moonsong. I have no channels yet. I will be making them soon.
And hi, I'm Blood Raven Cosplay, also known as Cass or Kane. Hi, you can find me at Blood Raven Cosplay on YouTube. Raven is spelled R-A-I, wind spelling Raven.
Mm-hmm. And the other you two.
The other YouTube, Dr. Alexander, that's Dr. Alexander Mill on TikTok.
And I am Knock Knock Hootha, WHTH on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, yada yada.
All the things.
Yep, and Nez.
Hi, I'm Nez, or Jester, depending on when you met me. You'll find me.
You'll find me.
I don't post. There's...
All right, so starting off this second season of Site-314, it has been about half a year since the events of last season's finale. Does anyone want to recap what happened at the end of last season?
We almost got deered.
Yeah.
We got deered. We had some sort of high school AU episode.
That was fun.
where the history professor, the history teacher, was clearly that one teacher that is the one actually giving everyone drugs.
Yeah. Counselor Candy.
What was that?
So for those of you who had characters, where are those characters now? Before we get into new characters.
I would like to retcon say Kane's in the past due to some weird time contingency where she has to be in the past for her character to have been to the Foundation.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
All right, any other...
Teresa now works in a combination of motor pool and engineering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Still has a girlfriend.
And Catherine still is director of 348, so...
All right, Real. What has Real been up to in the last 6 months?
Toby is seeing Real 6 months. Left immediately after the message details about it.
It is hard to understand what you're saying.
Repeat
Okay,
myself.
now I don't hear anything.
Oh no. Can you hear us now?
Okay, now we
Is
can
it better
hear you.
now? Okay.
Yes.
I said nobody has seen Real since the past. Messaged you a list of things.
All right. Any other legacy characters, or are we gonna introduce new ones?
I mean, I'm playing a character that showed up in 2 episodes.
All right, we'll start with you then. All right, who are you playing now?
All right, I am playing Tempest. Legally Cody Harmson, but Tempest. They are an anomalous subject who has recently been hired onto the site. Used to be a contractor.
Nice. All right, you two.
You do first. Give me a second.
Okay.
I am playing Winter. I am basically a test tube baby that was found during a raid from a different site and taken into the Foundation at 2 years old. She is anomalous because she can turn into a wolf. Not much is known about her because no one fucking knows anything about her. They're still researching her. And this is kind of more her going along because she needed social interaction.
Okay.
I am playing Amelia Lapin, Agent Amelia Lapin of a not this timeline's Lambda 5.
All right. Okay, knock knock.
I'm going to be playing my character, Dr. Violet. She's been in the Foundation for a solid minute. Just at another location. I forgot what else I was going to say, so I'm just going to end it there.
All right, and Nez.
Tony, whatever his name is, he just started existing like 10 minutes ago. So, not much to him.
Was sitting in a room eating saltines until this very moment.
He just spawned in.
All right, and
Just
so
away
you. Yeah. All right, so you are all already employed by the site. You can have been employed as long as you want. You're just. We're gonna retcon it as you have always been there. The focus was just never on you. And to get started, everyone gets a text from Site Director Cerise to meet in the lobby.
Tempest would put on his plate carrier, which now has SCP patches on it, and head over there.
Lapin will just go that direction, but she seems to just appear.
Okay.
Winter is going to sigh, put down her steak that she was in the middle of eating, and just grab her phone and just walk dejectedly.
Okay. All right, and then you three, I take it you're also coming?
Yeah.
Okay. So the lobby in question has along the wall the Wall of Heroes memorial, which at one end you've got 2025 and two names, Ollie Greenfield and Gertrude Sinclair. And every year before that, 2024, 2023, there's a few names. Going all the way back to a plaque honoring the inauguration of Site-314 in 1920. And before that, 1919 and 1918, there are just hundreds of names.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Any that stand out to us?
To you, probably not.
Alright.
And standing in front of that giant block of names is a blue-feathered bird person in a tan suit and tan fedora with a press badge tucked in the band.
Tempest kind of spreads his own wings a little bit.
And with him is a mailman that you have probably seen around the site plenty of times delivering packages and usually giving O5 messages to the senior staff. All right, so anyway, that's what you see. What you doing?
Let's just wait.
Amelia will walk, be possibly like one of the first people to walk up, and say, "What brings the wandsman in?"
Who are you saying that to?
To the bird.
Okay. Do you want to already know the bird, or is this going to be a first meeting?
I would say she's been on site a little bit before the end of season 1. Actually, wait. No, she would have not. So she would just walk up to the people.
Okay. All right, so the group approaches. The wandsman and the mailman both notice you. The wandsman was writing down names in a notebook, but puts his pen in the notebook, shuts it, tucks it. He's like, do you ever just admire this wall?
It's a wall to honor those who we've lost.
Every... What?
I accidentally smacked my hand on something. I said, "Ow!" My apologies.
Oh. Every name on this wall is a story. But you get this many names all at once, that tells an epic. I just wish I could learn these stories.
Well, the wandsman from your time was a snitch and a bitch and shit.
Your character
Sorry.
doesn't know that.
I didn't say that in character. That was me still hating.
Yeah.
If Haktua has no haters, Nez is dead.
Exactly. I'm gonna be in the nursing home saying that I hate that bird, and my poor grandkids are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
There, Grandpa. The bird can't hurt you.
Anyway, the mailman turns, looks over. Addressing each of you, but just kind of like talking about the bird. Like, yeah, he came to get a record, but anything past the breach of 32, all the records were incinerated. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, this everybody? By the way, the mailman has round purple sunglasses and a mask.
Amelia would actually not be wearing her helmet currently, so she is in her tack gear, but her face is covered from her nose down.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you see Tempest's heavily tattooed face and arms.
Winter
Anyway.
is currently still in her janitor's uniform with bits of blood splatter and viscera on it because she was in the middle of eating.
Amelia would not have observed enough, so she looks slightly to her to a direction. She's like, "Oh, when did you come in, Winter?"
I've been here since I got the text.
Ah, right. I'm not used to this plane of existence. So I'm trying to figure it out. It's been a long time. It's been about 6 months now. Still not used to it.
You get used to it eventually.
Well, that's a phrase.
10 years here, and I'm still not used to it.
All right, so yeah, the mailman looks around. It's like, I guess this is everybody that answered Cerese's text. All right, kids, we're going on a field trip.
Yay!
You just see Winter's face go full panic, like, oh no, what have I done?
Do I need to change? His current uniform is Sus 10.
Let me see how that compares.
Wild.
What is mine?
Our lab coat's like 30.
He could go down to Sus 1, but right now he's in SWAT gear with a tactical armor.
I don't know how much blood spatters and viscera add to sus, but
Oh, there we go. Oh man, my sus is only 8.
Yeah, Tempest will go change into civvies.
Winter has no civvies.
All right, so yeah, you have a few minutes to get that done. All right,
Oh,
now we
hi,
have
Ivo.
Ivo.
Hi. Sorry, I just got back from a trip. Or from a day out with a buddy of mine.
Okay, quick. Who are you playing? Also, it has
I
been
am
6
playing
months
Duck-
since the end of season 1.
I don't know why that would matter to me, but I am playing Dr. Ivo Neutralis Kalinsky, head of the Department of Chemical Warfare.
Wow.
Oh, department.
Okay, so you got a text, same as everybody else, telling you to meet in one of the lobbies. When you got there, it was the same lobby that has the Wall of Heroes. And standing in front of the big hundreds of names marked for 1918 and 1919 is a blue-feathered bird person with a tan suit and the O5's personal mailman.
We like this bird person. We're not hating it.
Squawk is fine.
We did have a moment to hate on Hawktua, though. It was great. I hate that, as we know.
All right, so Ivo gets there. There's the 2 individuals and a bunch of other site staff have also gathered. Are you doing anything?
I am sorry for my tardiness. Coming from the lunar site is not an easy trip.
We are all staff of 314. What are you talking about?
Oh,
You've been transferred. You've been transferred within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Anyways, just... I am sorry I'm late. I was caught up with something.
All
It's
right.
all right. I
Alright.
need to go change quick, and Tempest will walk out and beat them in motor pool.
Okay. So you got like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Ivo, did you want to do anything while you have a bird person admiring the 1919-1918 Wall of Heroes?
You would kind of walk up beside them and start reading through some of the names.
Okay. Yeah, it is a lot of names. The bird person was writing them down and sees you also admiring it, and the bird person just goes, it's a real shame the records got lost in the breach of 32. Would have really liked to know these stories.
As would I.
Okay. Anyway, Tempest has his magical girl transformation, and we head into out to the motor pool.
Lappin would also take some time to not be in her her MTF gear, and Pulseway comes back wearing wearing basically a tank top, a leather cutoff jacket with multiple patches on it, and still a face covering. Because there's a reason why he can't.
All right, so you go out to the motor pool, and waiting for you is the mailman and the bird person. And also a D-class that looks like death.
Oh.
It's a D-class you have seen before, except he is now thin, pale. You would almost think he was wearing the possessive mask with, like, the slight black oozing from orifices.
How fun.
Yay! Yay!
He's not doing hot.
Kalinsky gives the poor bastard a once-over, and just, I do not envy you, my son.
All right, and they are standing next to a vehicle that could only be described as a black, glossy shuttlecraft from Star Trek.
Suppose that should be alright. Oh,
Yeah,
someone else.
like, clearly has no wheels. But as you approach, the mailman activates the back hatch, which lowers, and inside you can see rows of seats. And he's like, all right, everybody on the void ship.
Oh, wonderful. And I got some time
I
on...
trust that man completely.
And I got some time in normal gravity.
Yeah.
Tempest will just get on the ship.
All right. The bird person and the mailman take the pilot and co-pilot seats. For everyone else, there's rows of seats and seat belts, like flight seats.
Kalinsky takes the one closest to the hatch.
Okay.
Tempest contemplates how to get into one of those seats with wings.
Winter will contemplate how the tail will fit in the seat.
He ends up just deciding to stand.
Okay.
But, like, holding on to the harness, but, like, his wings are not gonna fit in the shoulder straps.
I gotta look up falling damage rules.
Oh, it's fine. He can fly.
I don't even know if there is.
Flying is so expensive.
It cost me 16 points.
Is there a hole in one of the seats so that Winter can stick her tail through it?
Damage. Yeah.
We'll say yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Get in that seat.
All right, this will just be RP stuff then. All right, so everybody's in. The mailman swings the chair around to face everybody. It's like, all right, everybody, buckle in. I am not liable for whatever happens if you don't.
Kalinsky is treating it like a transport truck.
All right. And the mailman's also, do not touch anything.
Tempest is grabbing onto the harness straps, but can't get wings in them, so...
All right, so he swings around. All right, everybody, brace yourselves. And there's like this candy red glowing button on the dash, and he just smashes it, and the ship drops through the ground.
I've been reminded of a
What the fuck? Kalinsky is kind of panicking because he thought it would be a spaceship. Because before the transfer, he was on the lunar area. So that was his familiar zone. You know, he is no longer in his familiar zone.
It's just like a drop tower, but like definitely more deadly.
Okay.
The fuck is a drop tower?
So what
Don't worry about
everyone
it.
experiences is it just slips through the bottom of the ground and feels like it falls about 20 feet, landing with a hard thud.
This is how I
Eh.
view elevators.
And looking out the windows, you see what looks like rooms and hallways going off in a bunch of different directions. Everything in yellow wallpaper, yellow carpet, fluorescent lights.
Did you just bring us to the back room?
We already have one of these campaigns.
And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mailman swings back around and goes, "Don't get excited. It's not our floor."
Winter just looks confused.
And meanwhile, the red button he had smashed before is still not lit up. And he's like, "All right, folks, it'll just be a few minutes."
Hi. Lapid is possibly like, we are in pocket universes. We are in a pocket space. We're in a pocket space. I basically, she's just having a panic attack. She's like, I need to do my job. I need to do my job.
All right, is anybody doing anything while we're waiting?
Tempest will load his gun, and the tattoos on his arm start to glow as lightning arcs. I don't need spell exertion for my abilities, so this is just flavor.
Yeah.
Like,
If anybody wants to ask anything,
getting
Winter
ready
will
for a
punch out
fight.
the D class and ask, "Am I allowed to eat him if he gets out of line? I have not fully had lunch yet."
This one in particular, no.
Aw, I'm hungry. I'm
Uh,
gonna finish lunch.
the mailman is like, "You don't want that one. He's tainted."
If I remember correctly, that one's particularly acidic.
Damn.
Tempest has met him. Tempest also.
All right, do you have no questions for anybody?
No.
Oh. Lapid would be like, are we going to a pocket dimension?
The bird person swings around this time and it's like, even weirder.
Oh, don't sound so
Weirder
bad about
than
that.
weirder than what my task force unit does on a regular basis.
Kinda. We'll have plenty of time to explain. All right, so meanwhile, it has not gotten any brighter in the room, but your eyes feel like the fluorescent lights have become blinding and you're starting to get a bit of a migraine.
Nap time. Let's say
Uh,
that.
Kalinsky would adjust his gas mask to where he is no longer looking out of the eye hole.
So cool.
And there would just be heavy breathing coming from it and just...
All right.
Whatever the hell I named him, Tony, I think, just kind of slowly scoots away.
All right. So, just as it starts to get a little bit unbearable, the light on the red button comes back on. And the mailman's like, "All right, hold on." Smashes it again.
like muffled screaming from the back.
No muffled screaming from Winter.
No, from Kalinsky. He's wearing a gas mask too.
Yeah, Winter is fully screaming at this point as you drop again.
Tempest has been thoroughly desensitized to this stuff and is just amateur new people.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you drop straight through the floor like it's not even there, and it's another 20 feet, and then another land with a thud.
Just told me this is our floor. I don't think I can take that again.
Well, you'll be fine.
And at the sound of the impact, you can see through the window there's like a little old lady with a cart of pies, like hurriedly running away from whatever you just did. You can also tell it is nighttime. It looks like you're on a cobble road, medieval houses.
Are we in fucking Barovia?
Fog
Yay!
everywhere, thick ass fog
Okay.
past. But despite that, you can still look up and see a cliff of a mountain, and on top of it, a castle silhouetted by a full moon.
Tell me, are there any bronze robots running around?
Wait, one person at a time. Start with Kane.
Hi, are we having this as a problem, or are we saying she's not affected by the moon?
Who wants
Taser!
Who wants to restrain?
It sure ain't gonna be Polinsky.
Tempest will jump on the werewolf.
Winter sees the moon. She's just like, oh fuck. And you see her eyes start twitching.
Tempest will jump on Winter. Lightning fully arcing now.
All right, so the mailman.
Temporarily paralyze.
Yeah, the mailman looks towards the D class and is like, handle that. And the D class just starts spewing forth black ooze that quickly hardens into like a straight jacket.
Gross.
I take this job.
Hi, quick question. Hi, is
Yeah.
this just a now disheveled Plan B?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, his health is plummeted.
Oh.
Oh. Someone get him a hamburger.
Cause like, season 1, when I made the character at first, max health as quickly as possible, and then I got into the whole reality bending thing later. This time, I'm starting reality bending, so my health is nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God. So, yeah, whatever he has been doing, it has finally taken its toll.
So at this point, Polinsky has moved his gas mask back where you can see through the eye holes. And due to all the chaos, if somebody were to stare Kalinsky in the eye, they would see pure shell shock out of that man. He's also gripping the hilt or the handle of his Webley revolver. Just
Is he gonna freak out too? Do I need to deal with this one as well?
Also, there are a lot
30
of
feet. Take a breath.
ravens are starting to line the rooftops, staring down at your shuttle.
Everyone sees Winter just like foaming at the mouth. And just crazed look on her face. And like,
Hey, man.
she is completely feral right now.
All right.
Kalinsky looks like he's in the middle of a German blitz.
All right, so I've got to say, not exactly a time for questions. You are all very much concerned with the wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf seems handled.
The wolf and the
anyone
madman.
All right.
Is anyone
After-
concerned about the World War I veteran that's currently going through some shit?
Nah, he'll be fine.
Tempest is pointing the gun at him.
All right.
He'll be
After a few
fine.
minutes, the red button lights up again. And he's not even going to warn anybody. Like, if you don't react to the button lighting up, it's your own fault at this point. As soon as it lights up, he smashes the button.
More muffled screaming.
You're so dramatic.
You can look.
Yes.
You guys are still muted. Yes, you know.
All right. So,
Yeah, no.
another 20-foot drop through the ground as if it's nothing. And you land what looks like, in one direction, a field being tilled by a couple trolls next to a medieval tavern. And on the opposite side of the field is this perfectly cylindrical 500-foot tower.
Ah! As soon as Winter is out of the full moonlight, she's just now calming down slowly.
And it looks like early afternoon.
Yay! Also, I love that I actually pay attention to the games on this server. I know
Yeah.
exactly that it was the Backrooms, Baking in Barovia, and now it's Dimension Break.
Yep.
Because all the games have to be connected.
Yes.
Still constrained, Winter will look down. Why the hell am I constrained?
All right.
Moon.
And the D class starts melting the hardened ooze.
Full Moon.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that would do
Lewinsky
it.
is still not quite calm, but he's also not, like, freaking out. He is just slightly shaking, holding his revolver, because it is the one thing that gives him familiarity.
All right. So the mailman turns around again. It's like, all right, we're almost there. Just one hop away.
By the way,
This time-
through every single jump,
Where is that
let me
going?
just be calm.
Are you asking that out loud?
No, Lapin would be constantly calm every single jump because she's used to this. She's used to this.
All right. Anyway, Nez, are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
All right. So the bird person would turn around this time. It's like, yes. Now that we have a calm moment, I can explain where exactly we're going. Who here is familiar with the Wandsman?
She's like, in passing.
All right. So
Fuck's
you
a
know.
wand?
The Wandsmen are interdimensional reporters. We go around collecting information and stories and going to other dimensions and reporting the interdimensional news. Which means we visit a lot of different alternate realities.
Lapin just kind of like screams from under her breath of the. God, she's like, like she's very like, but timeline temporal breaches.
Oh, don't worry too much about it.
They'll fix it later.
Now, imagine the multiverse is like a book, and each page is its own reality. The Wandsmen are adept at traveling from one page to the spine of the book to a different page.
Take it, we're
This
going
is
to
some
the spine of
Madeline
the book.
Gringle bullshit.
Well, where we are going is a little bit different. We're going to the space between pages.
So we're going to the spine of the book.
Oh, no, not the spine. The spine is somewhere in the book. But when you open a book, there's a gap between the pages. That's where we're going.
Why?
Do not think this is a good idea.
Also,
It's a little
because
bit too
we're
late to
old enough
decide that now.
Also,
Why
Del,
is exactly why I'm here. This is a story that needs reported.
Del, I know you're old enough. I know this suddenly is a goddamn Sliders reference, even if it wasn't intended. I can sense some Sliders reference, even if it wasn't your intention.
That face says that it was 100% intentional.
All right. All right. So anyway, this is not something wandsmen can normally do. This feat of engineering, this void ship, is able to move sideways through space, if you can wrap your head around the concept.
Space is a three-dimensional graph.
Or then think of it as a fifth-dimensional movement.
We're moving from graph to graph.
Yeah.
Have we not
And
moved yet?
So we're basically moving up or down page by page, depending on how you want to look at it. And eventually, we're just going to slip out of the book.
But Del, have we moved yet?
No, you're still by this field in
Okay,
Tavern.
so Slapin will look at you, and what it seems to be to her simply her basically tilting backwards. As from everyone else's perspective, all of a sudden she's not in the chair, and then she slips back, and she's now standing. Something like that.
Sort of, but on a
You
much,
just fell for
much,
them.
much bigger scale.
Yes. Anyways,
Yeah,
she
it's
kinda
like...
she kind of leans back. You can see her starting to lean back, and then all of a sudden she poofs, and then she's back in the chair.
Yeah, just imagine if the words on the page could leave the page.
That makes my head hurt.
Pardon me, Mr. Vogelmensch. I am only comfortable with the fourth dimension. So, I don't think I've ever explained this. This is out of character. Blinsky is an unintentional time traveler.
Okay.
He was pulled from the fields of Verdun in 1916 to fucking 2016, the fields of Verdun. And it was
Okay.
because some asshole in engineering was trying to make a TARDIS. That is the official explanation.
Okay. All right, any last questions before we jump ahead a few minutes?
I have a question, Dano, and that
Yep.
is, do I have permission to do bullshit?
Depends. Leaving the vessel is not an option.
Oh, I'm not on the vessel. I'll be arriving at the vessel.
You're in the vessel. What?
I'm arriving at the vessel.
Are
Violet
we
is
talking-
dragging. Violet is dragging Reels back, too.
Okay.
By
You've been-
through mollecology BS.
You've been on the ship for a while. Are we talking about before you boarded?
No, I wanna just now arrive on the vessel.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's why you two
Drama.
been quiet?
Yeah, we've been plotting.
Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, you see wizard and scientist appear from out of
Alright,
nowhere.
So these two red hands emerge from the ground and appear to rip open reality. And then the other side of it appears to be just a box store. And Real is wearing like a vest, and he rips off the vest and throws it on the ground. He's like, "Brian, I told you this is the last time I quit." And then he walks in and he pulls out a little he pulls out of his bag a lab coat with a little number 1 tag on it, and he goes, "Oh, hey guys."
Hello,
Real, how are you?
Dr. Real, it is great to be working with you again.
Oh, hey Tempest. Can someone message Cerise? They're for sure gonna need some amnestics at the superstore.
Yeah. That's not my department, Real.
Yeah, the
Oh, guys,
mailman
this
is like, "I'll tell her when we get back."
this is Violet. Everybody, you know Violet.
Hey guys.
Do you want to say that your character has been on the site for a while?
My character, so Violet has not. She's been at another site and has transferred in from another site for her speciality of biomechanical bull crap.
Also, yay! We get to interact with Violet. I love Violet.
All right, so for Real in particular, you see that this vessel is parked a little bit a ways from the gun barrel.
Oh, hey, guys. I was part owner of that business.
Except now you see that the field is being tilled by a couple of trolls, and there's a giant tower on the other side of the field.
Huh. You know, neighborhoods change when you leave for a couple months, I guess. Hey, what are we doing here?
Apparently going between pages.
What is
My
that?
brain still hurts.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is this like what was that? Gosh, what was that movie from like the 80s? Are we doing Page Masters?
I saw that in the theater.
Tempest looks at you with a blank face.
Master.
It was a
Macaulay
movie.
Culkin, Christopher Lloyd.
That was in character, sorry.
Yeah, and
Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg.
I keep on forgetting McFeely would have remembered most of the 80s.
You list off a bunch of names, and Tempest just still has that blank stare, like nothing means anything to him.
Also, Real, there is
Winter has
currently 2 eyes giving you a 1,000-yard stare coming out of a gas mask.
I want to say, so it's Node, and it might not, it's just a one-off thing unless it's a thing. Lapin is from a universe where the Terminator was Stallone.
Oh, you're from the Last Action Hero universe.
A parallel to that, maybe.
Okay. If anybody has not seen that film, it is a classic.
It is. Oh my god, it's classic. It's very late 80s, late
We'll
early.
fix it later.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
All right. So, anything else, or are we going to jump ahead a few minutes?
We're driving by. Real is giving them all the tea on locations that we're going by.
Polite nodding.
All right, a few minutes later.
Like,
All right, a few minutes later, the big red button lights up again. Everyone but Real and Violet know what's about to happen.
Tempest just clutches her harness.
Yeah.
Is anybody warning them?
Panic.
Tempest will warn them, but Tempest will
panicking.
just like hand on their shoulders.
Good luck.
Brace for them.
All right. The mailman smashes the button again as you drop through reality. And this time, there is no bottom. You just keep... You have the feeling of falling, but you don't have any kind of frame of reference because out the windows is just solid white.
Not again.
Violet 110% looking very bored at the situation.
Tempest is desensitized to all this stuff, so he's fine with it.
All right, so as soon as you drop through, the mailman starts flicking switches, and it takes like 10 seconds before he's got everything booted up, and you just feel the inertia as like the engines kick on. Like, all right, we're here.
Where is here?
Nowhere.
Here is now. Here is nowhere.
Do they have Josta here?
Have what?
They probably
Josta.
have. They
Soda.
probably have nothing here.
Yes, nothing exists here.
Is this the place between pages, or is this the place between?
So to press, to explain this real quick, we are nowhere. We are also everywhere and nowhere.
So
Meanwhile-
we're everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, it was. But yeah, we are nowhere, but everywhere, but nowhere.
Huh. So we're
Meanwhile-
in the void.
Yes.
The bird person is writing everything down. Yeah, you are now characters that have left the page. This
Was untitled is lost.
This is a location that was theoreticized by the Wandsman as some place that might exist outside of the realities that we're able to jump through.
I'm not hydrated.
So, what exactly are we doing?
All right. The mailman's still at the controls. He turns the ship. You can feel it turning, but like, again, blank void. Pure white, no shade or anything, until eventually something comes into view. And have it saved.
Kalinsky is regretting ever leaving 1916.
Does this look a lot like between places? So
Sure is regretting responding to the text.
Yeah. Okay, so SCP TTRPG reference art. I'm going to be dropping it. Find it. There we go. Just hanging in the void. No shadow.
Damn, they really did not use contrasting colors in the environment for that.
That's just fucking space
It's
station.
a really cool Lego set.
And it is very tiny off. You were assuming it is a very large thing in the very far distance.
Tempest pulls out his range finder to see what.
And hovering around it, you can see what looks like gnats, but if you zoom in, it's other void ships just dropping in from nowhere and doing the same thing you were, like getting the engines on and then heading towards it and going towards just dozens of docking bays.
Uh, you are a bondsman, correct?
What was that?
He's trying to address the messenger.
Yes, I was specifically requested by the O5 to record and spread this information.
Okay, and you said this place was outside of time, correct?
That is correct.
It, those other void ships, could they be us if this is out of time?
Okay, what?
I'm asking if the other void ships floating around are just other us.
No, you are you. You're gonna have to get that straight. Don't think of other versions of you as you. They are distinct other people with their own experiences.
But they are still the people in this void ship.
There might be other versions of you. Don't get freaked out.
He is already slightly shaking again.
Winter
Don't-
immediately asks, you know, that kind of looks like one of the ships from Coruscant. Why is that?
What is Coruscant?
Yeah,
One of the
again,
movie series called Star Wars or something? I don't remember.
Tempest just blank stare.
Anyway, it is slowly getting closer, or you are slowly getting closer to it, as the mailman announces now approaching the recently relocated Delta Station.
Kalinsky looks uneasy at the fact of recently relocated.
Yes, it used to be, to keep the analogy going, the spine of the book, keeping track on the pages.
Okay,
So-
why did you have to move it?
So that a lot of different realities could visit at the same time. Meanwhile, the station has now eclipsed what you can see through the window as you've gotten closer.
So you never answered what we're doing here.
The mailman answers. A call was sent out. We are responding.
What kind of
Ooh.
call? Like,
A call from the
Someone-
O5.
specifics, man, specifics.
That is for the briefing.
Yes,
Should
I was
I
about to
even-
say.
You're in it
Alright.
now. If you're not.
I'm a janitor.
If you got a text, you're meant to be here.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, everybody at the site got the text.
Oh.
Shit.
Maybe you should have ignored it then.
I just wanted my steak.
Well, next
Did
time
I
you know to
ever leave
prioritize
the-
lunch.
Did I ever leave Simone?
All right. And by now, you've gone all the way to one of the docking bays, which large room. The station is massive. Which eventually it lands and the hatch opens up.
Are we gonna expect incident here, or
Oh, I hope not. This is a Foundation base.
all right?
Also, there are no anomalies kept at this location. It is secure.
All right.
Kalinsky breathes a slight sigh of relief at that.
Yeah, Tempest will reconceal his pistol.
Oh, if you don't count 682 anyway. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Honestly, putting 682 here might be a good idea.
Oh, we leave
I'm
him
gonna
here,
drive
he'll
my
just
car
find a
here
way
now.
back.
Yeah, but maybe he finds his way back somewhere else.
That's just kicking the can down the road.
You know, I heard a really weird idea about using like some sort of like harvester to neutralize it.
Oh,
I heard
God.
it ended. I heard it ended horribly.
It worked. Too well. Anyway, so is everybody getting off the shuttle?
Yeah.
We'll slowly
Linsky
struggle and then unbuckle.
Okay.
lets go of the harness to reveal finger indents in them.
All right. So the mailman, the bird person, and the D class are walking out and like following signs along the corridors.
Kalinsky's making the smart decision and following closely behind.
Okay. Are you asking anything more on the way to wherever you're being brought?
So, if you don't mind me asking, when was his base set up? Or when was it set up in our reality?
Okay, whenever you use the accent, I can't understand half of what you're saying.
Sorry. He's asking when this base was set up in their reality. If you want, I can just drop the accent.
Okay, you mean when was it made or when was it moved?
Made.
Made? Oh, I don't even have access to that information.
Because it's not in our reality. It's not in reality at all. This is the void.
But it
I'm
wasn't
aware
built
of that fact. I was asking for a point of reference.
Like, it does appear to be very shiny, but worn. Like, it has been maintained very well, but it has seen a lot of use. And as you're going through the halls, you are joined by a lot of other obvious Foundation personnel, but like 99% of them you don't recognize. And every so often you might notice somebody more than once, but different. And every so often, like out of the corner of your eye, you might catch a glimpse of a different you.
Kalinsky is extremely uneasy throughout all of this.
Linsky, don't make eye contact with yourself. They don't like that.
They don't like that.
What?
When
No,
she
don't
pulls
think-
out a small bag of beef jerky and starts just eating it because she has to have a lot of food on her.
Okay. Alright, so everyone is being herded into this auditorium. Giant, hollowed out sphere of a room, and you're being... There are D-class, like, herding people to specific little, skyboxes, unique to each world. And you get directed to your world's little skybox, which are lining the inside of this massive spherical auditorium.
Tempest debates stretching his wings a little bit and going for a little flight.
You look out, you see you're not the only one who had that idea.
Yeah. the only version of myself? Or
Yeah, but there
Other
are
monsters?
others who could fly and are just kind of hovering around, gliding around.
yeah, seeing that others are doing it, Tempest will jump off the skybox.
Okay, everybody sees that happen, but they've also seen your wings, so who cares?
yeah.
I guess Klinsky would have been there for a few months. I keep forgetting that.
All right, so in the center of this auditorium is a pillar rising to about the middle of the sphere and a platform.
This is the Star Wars Senate meeting, is it not?
And you see...
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't make the reference because Klinsky doesn't know about it.
That was out of character. Tempest doesn't watch movies.
And then above the platform is like jumbotrons, so everyone can see. And on the platform, it looks like 12 men and women in business suits and one black cat.
This will land back in our skybox.
Does one of them have an unusually wide grin?
Not that you could see. What are you talking about?
When you said men and women in business suits, and also a black cat, I was thinking 05.
Yeah, they are 05. Obviously.
Oh.
The 05 one that is portrayed on TikTok.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
there.
Yeah, okay.
And as soon as everyone gets seated, you can see one of the 05s in a golden mask approaches the a podium with mic stand, and you can see his face in the jumbotrons. Greetings, Foundation of the Multiverse. I'm 05 Delta, head of interdimensional affairs in one particular reality. I have since relocated and donated my space station to become a base of operations for a multi-dimensional mission, of which all of you have volunteered.
Right.
You have been selected, or I should say, your sites have been selected for one very particular reason. Your sites uniquely have a weak point in reality that can be exploited. Now, to explain how and why, just to emphasize the gravity of the situation, this mission comes from the highest position in the Foundation.
Tempest looks over the reel. Is that why the bears appeared?
They're always trying to exploit my weak points.
You look over a few skyboxes and you see a group of all of you, except you're all wearing cowboy hats.
Okay, out of character real quick, you want to know something funny?
What?
I made a TikTok ages ago exploring that reality.
So, anyway, to explain the situation, I introduce the Foundation's Level 6 Administrator, Arthur Blackwood.
Out of character again, this.
What?
Welcome part of the show, Real says, and he pulls out some Twizzlers from his pocket.
No, it was just over. Thank you.
What did Real say?
Oh, Real says, I love this part of the show. And then pulls out a package of Twizzlers from his pocket.
Okay. And you see rising up, like, the column in the middle is an elevator. You see coming out on top of the platform, seen through the Jumbotrons, it looks like a very old, emaciated man in a gas mask in an electric wheelchair.
Say what I
With a
think you're
couple
about
of
to say.
rods.
We have foundation.
With a couple of rods in the back of the wheelchair, and on each one is hanging 3 bags of various colored IV going up his sleeves.
I thought the level
You
4 was...
motherfucker, you're about to say exactly what I think you're about to say.
What do you think I'm about to say?
Mr. Blackwood.
I already said his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom came in, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Arthur Black.
Yes. Very, very, very old man.
Someone go tell
I thought
Maura I
level-
wasn't allowed to.
I thought level 4 was the highest. Level
No!
5 is usually site administration.
Yeah, the site
Right,
directors.
That was in character, sorry.
Yeah, the site directors are 5. The O5 council is a council of level 5s, but there's a level 6.
Oh my god, there is.
Yeah, that is the person above the O5 council.
I thought that was ethics.
There is no ethics committee! I exist because there is no ethics committee.
Well, Bullrat worked for the ethics committee.
Alright, so anyway, this wheelchair-bound individual rolls forward towards the microphone. You see him on the Jumbotrons. Greetings,
Let him die.
Foundation.
Sorry.
No, he cannot die. He was cured.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Shit.
He can age.
Of what? Yeah.
He can't die.
He cannot die because 049 cured him.
In the ASCI campaign, Arthur was played by Mulra, and Arthur got squished. He died. It was sad. And we were transporting 049. We didn't know that he was a problem. Like, we knew he was a problem, but the characters didn't know he was a problem. And we were like, all right, you know what? Let 049 fuck around with Arthur's body, because it means he won't keep bringing the enemies back from the dead. He managed to fix Arthur. And then we just kind of skated right past that for the rest of the campaign. But clearly it had consequences.
Yeah. Now you can decide whether or not this is a fate worse than death, because again, he does still age.
God, so just put that man out of his misery.
He's over 100 years old.
Should have called in Rat for this episode.
Tempest cracks his knuckles, lightning arcs a little bit.
He will be watching, so don't tell Mulrat anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go delete a DM then.
Nazareth.
My bad.
That was fast.
I'm quick.
Hey, Des and I chat like all game.
I have known this for a little while now, and I was not allowed to tell Molerat. You think as soon as it's revealed, and I know it's just been revealed, I'm not gonna go and tell him? Of course I'm gonna go tell him. Anyway, let me go delete that DM real quick.
Alright, anyway, continuing on. There is a threat to the multiverse greater than anything any of you have faced. And the Jumbotrons all change to an image like this.
Image like what?
Oh fuck, we're gonna have to put an auditor.
The Scarlet King.
What's going on?
Except it's not an image. Like, it says live in the corner. And it is the Scarlet King, like, beating. Okay, imagine, like, glass window pane of just pure white that he is beating on, trying to get in.
Quite rude. He should try knocking on the door first.
So, live feed.
Real has completely shut down.
Real looks at Tempest, and he flips back his lab coat, and on his hip is this gnarled crown that appears to be made of like sort of like a dark iron, with these red embossed gems into it, almost looking like eyes, and they're probably just like pulsing each time the Scarlet King's hand strikes against the glass.
Oh, man. Does Real have PTSD?
Huh?
Does Real have PTSD?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Violet's just over there rubbing her hand on Real's back.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to still have those spoons, would you?
No, those were actually confiscated. I made Cerise go in there herself for him.
She made
Cerise probably didn't go in. Cerise probably didn't go in herself. Real was very unconscious for the procedure, but he told her that she'd have to go in herself.
She made it intentionally unnecessarily painful.
Oh, we should probably put those back in for this.
There's like murmuring of plans going on from every skybox. The reason you've all been brought here is because each of your sites have dealt with extra-dimensional threats, which leaves your sites uniquely positioned at weak points between dimensions. These are weak points that... These are weak points that the Scarlet King can exploit. There is currently a plan in motion to seal these weak points. But to do so, we need to set up Scranton reality anchors. It's not enough to establish an anchor at your own site. Your mission is to utilize your weak points. Travel to realities that have lost their foundation. And set up reality anchors in those fallen realities.
With that being mentioned, Lappin's like just goes to a worry of like, oh, God, damn it.
Oh, why is this not your character's thing?
Because that's what happened to her, really.
This is kind of what happened to Tempest's reality, too.
Winter's just sitting there shaking her head, being like, I just want a steak. Why am I having to fight this horror god now? Why? I just want a fucking steak.
Because you answered a text.
Yeah.
Attacks. Yeah.
My own goddamn phone. Looking
Right.
at my phone while I was eating.
To this end, on my station, we are making very specialized reality anchors. Lightweight, portable, and will only activate when a certain signal is sent out, and only long enough for the network of anchors
Yeah,
to seal all of the cracks simultaneously.
Oh,
Yes.
Yep.
You're
Yay.
cutting out for Nidel.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
and
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to speak for a few seconds to see if it goes away, and it still looks like it is registering me.
And you're
And
gone.
you looked away from your mic and stopped registering.
Ah, damn. Why does that happen sometimes? Okay, I am still talking. Ah, there it goes. All right, I'm going to back out, come back in.
All right. Pain. Oh.
So
I
while
was gonna
they're
say that as he came back.
while everyone's like, "Fuck," that Real just leads over to Ivo Polinsky, points at the Scarlet King on the monitor, and just goes, "I punched that."
you cut out at "that's my."
Oh, we are all having issues.
Also,
Also, what?
You know.
also, Lappin looks at Real and like, you punched that before, Dr.
Yeah, I
Real.
punched that guy. Punch that guy
You
one time.
punched that before.
Yeah,
How did that
I mean,
go?
I mean,
He's
still
not
here,
dead.
aren't I?
I've fought him and like some army of his, but yeah, no, that planet is destroyed, and I died. So
wait, you died, but how are you here then?
I'll explain at a later date.
It's easier to not ask questions at this point.
He's on the
Fair
Kendraki
enough.
healthcare plan.
Pretty much.
Yay!
So you are to report back to your sites.
I'll find
And
myself.
as we construct these portable reality anchors, they will be sent to you, along with the interdimensional coordinates of a fallen reality. You will go through your site's weak point in the dimensions and take this can't counter and set up the reality anchors where the can't counter instructs you to. Then return to the rift and back to your site.
We're gonna take a seam ripper to Victor.
Oh, I just realized
What?
if we go through Site-314 hell, we can see an old friend, one that is currently rampaging through hell with a rocket launcher.
He ain't
You're
dead
not
yet.
you're not going through hell.
Ah, damn.
Tempest will raise his hand like the guy can see him.
There's like a terminal you can type in questions and it's going to be collated and sent to the O5s.
Yeah, Tempest
God,
will
it's like
just
the worst
type
thing
in
ever.
like, "Are we allowed to discuss this with our sites?"
Yeah, there are administration
Yeah.
who are responding. You see like a giant FAQ of questions being like building up, and you can like click on the answers to commonly asked questions. And yes, it is whoever on the site volunteers. You, by volunteering today, have just become the messengers.
Okay. Tempest reads that and goes like, ah, shit, I probably should have written shit down. He pulls out his tablet. I don't get the signal here.
Kalinsky, who has sort of calmed down by now, has just turned his brain back to, I'm still in World War One. This is the briefing. I need to soak everything in.
Yep. All right. So, after a few minutes, this long list of questions and answers have been compressed into a file and a thumb drive ejected from the terminal.
Tempest will take it.
All right. And the administrator reverses the wheelchair, goes back down, and the gold masked 05 returns. All right, Foundation, you have your orders. You can now return to your sites.
Ivo does a British salute where you open palm and turn on your heel, and essentially stiff legs it out. Because that's how it would be after a briefing back in the army.
All right. So, the Birdman, the Mailman, the D-Class file out. The first two in front of you, the D-Class at the back, making sure none of you is getting lost. Heading back to the docking bay. All right.
Once she gets back on the ship, Winter will shift into her wolf form and just circle and then just plop down, just like panic and just like settling in on herself. Not in a seat, just there.
Linsky, to everyone's surprise, is actually calm and just quietly sitting there.
All right. So back on the ship. Is everybody in? Got your seatbelts on?
Oh, the ship has seatbelts? That's great to know this time.
It's like flight seats. All right.
There wasn't time to tell you about the seatbelts the last time, sorry.
All right, so Mailman lifts up the ship, turns it, flies out the docking bay, and you're back to pure white. It's like, all right, folks, it's going to be a few minutes before we get to our off-ramp, so to speak.
Tempest will pull out his tablet again, pull out a dongle, plug that thumb drive into his tablet, and just look what's on there.
Yep, questions and
Also,
answers. We can reference at any time.
Alright.
If Tempest asks, Kalinsky essentially took an entire mental note about everything that Blackwood said.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Tempest remembers everything. Just
Meanwhile, the bird person has been writing everything down.
Yeah. He's like, so I don't have to answer 1,000 questions. I should have written this down.
Anyway, the bird person finally gets done with his notes. Pox says, Well, this has been an exciting trip. Never thought I'd be able to see the void. It's always just been kind of a theory, a myth among the Wandsmen. Never thought it'd be real.
There's a lot more stuff here than I thought there.
And no offense to you, Mr. Vonsman, I will be happy if we sorry, accent. I will be happy if we never come back here.
Oh, if all goes well, you shouldn't have to.
If.
Yeah, I'm sad that I couldn't help you get here. It had to be such a bumpy ride. But Wandsman's methods of travel don't really end up here.
Well, then I'm glad to take you here.
I mean, if the math is correct, I think Real might understand the concept. You know what happens when you put a bag of holding in a bag of holding?
Hey, Miller.
Is this in character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you there?
Hello?
Real, we hear stuff in the room.
Oh, that's just me.
Real, we need an absurd character. Come back, quick.
Is Real there?
Yeah, he is. He's in the other room. Baby, come here.
Why is he in another room?
We're playing the game, damn
I
it!
walked away. That was my fault. I walked away. We have earbuds in.
Apparently,
Oh,
you're
okay.
that's the primary.
So anyway, the bird person is dressing Real. It's like, all right, you know what happens when you put a bag of holding in a bag of holding?
Oh yeah, that's how I ended up at 314 in the first place.
Okay, so imagine instead of going somewhere, it went into a sphere of annihilation.
What if? Hear me out. I don't want to do that. That sounds like a bad time.
Yeah, like if I were to use the Wandsman's mode of travel outside of any reality, it would kind of open up a sphere of annihilation.
Kalinsky would raise his hand.
Yes.
What is this? What is the sphere of annihilation to? What even is it?
Annihilates everything in the sphere.
Yeah, it's kind of in the name. It's exactly as advertised.
I mean, there are certain flavors of spheres of annihilation, but some of them get dastardly. Some of them just destroy everything. Some of them rain fire. Some of them cause earthquakes. Some of them cause floods. All incredibly, incredibly destructive. I could give you a college-level dissertation on them sometime.
Please no.
Yeah, you
Winter
would basically
slowly Oh, sorry.
you would basically become the cotton candy in the pool.
While I was gone, don't worry, Tempest. While I was gone, I went to community college and I got this certificate in education. I'm
great.
a qualified teacher now.
So, what were you doing in retail?
Oh, I was kind of in between jobs. So I went to go back to the foundation. It turns out that they cut me from the payroll, because they thought I was dead after I left to go look for more magic. Oh yeah, magic broke, by the way. I fixed it though.
Okay.
And then I got a text from Cerise that says, "Hey, we'll hire you back. Come back and do this mission." And they gave me this fancy name tag. Says I'm number 1. He's clearance 1.
You know what? Good for you.
Winter will
Kalinsky
shift.
sitting there with clearance 4.
You all have one.
Winter,
Yeah.
Winter will
Oh.
shift back into her human form and just look at everyone and say, "What the heck is a sphere of annihilation? Is that from that really unpopular game I think it's like Dragons and Dungeons or something.
They have a version of it, yes.
Yeah, the version of D&D in this world is Goblin Errands.
Because I play that all the time. I've never heard of this Sphere of Annihilation. Must be from that really unpopular version.
Yeah, it's from an unpopular game called Dungeons and Dragons.
I've played it once or twice. It's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
That sounds
so
nasty.
you feel acceleration. Can't see anything. It's still white void out the windows, but you are definitely going faster.
We're going to check Violet's seatbelt, make sure it's secure, and then going to check Tempest's seatbelt, make sure it's secure.
Tempest is not wearing a seatbelt. He cannot fit in them.
Tempest, that's dangerous.
Just
What
standing.
Yeah.
would Foundation safety standards say?
He's like one of those bus handrails. He's holding onto that.
Oh, so real just like gestures his hand, and like a hand comes out of the floor. It's like red with long nails, and just like holds onto your hand.
Tempest looks up at the hand that's holding the bar, looks at his other hand that's holding this red hand. Thanks, I guess?
All right, so anyway, going faster and faster. Feels like you're going 80, 90, 100 miles per hour, 110, 120. G-forces are kicking in.
Kalinsky, who once again sat right near the hatch, simply braces himself against the hatch of it.
It opens, you fly out into nothing.
No, he's buckled in. It's just he's also leaning against the hatch.
You're buckled into the seat or you're leaning against the hatch. Which is it?
Oh, I had assumed that it was like the very back bus seat.
No.
Where it was like right
The back hatch
okay.
is a ramp.
Gotcha, okay. Then he's buckled in and holding on for dear life.
Okay. All right. Anybody else doing anything now that the G-forces are kicking in?
Tempest will electrify his hand so it physically cannot let go.
Okay.
Ooh, that's clever.
Actually sit in her seat.
Violet just casually falling asleep in her seat.
Nice. All right. And as soon as it seems like you could not go any faster, you crash through the void.
The void was a lie. It's just a warehouse.
Still going just as fast, you smash through reality into what looks like dystopian cyberpunk world with other flying cars, but just as quickly you crash again into other reality, and then reality, until you finally reach Site-314.
By now, Kalinsky has, just like he did when he first arrived in 2016, threw up in his mask.
Gross.
But at least we don't have to smell it.
Nobody has realized because he has just kept it on and dealt with it.
Question.
At least I don't think
During that crash through reality after reality, were our faces doing the whole elongate thing from
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, it was rough as fuck. You don't want to do that again.
Have we landed yet?
Yeah, like he makes like a wide circle around the site just to gently land on the lawn. And the back hatch
Linsky
lowers.
practically rips off his seatbelt, runs outside, and takes off his mask, emptying it out, before puking once again due to the smell.
All right, and a few feet away from where the mailman landed, you see pink lab coat, eyeball for a head, pink hair coming out. It's site director Cerise with a big wooden crate, like sitting on top of a big wooden crate, cross-legged.
Tempest will walk out and hand her the thumb drive.
Thank you. I'll have that disseminated amongst the entire staff. Meanwhile, hops off the crate, hands you a crowbar.
Tempest pulls out his own.
Is anybody gonna, like, see if Kalimski's doing alright?
No.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Lapin will be like, and I can see it has already arrived.
Yep. Looks like you already get to do your first mission.
Fine.
Winter tumbles out of the ship. Just immediately pukes as well.
Kalimski, who has finished puking by now, kind of
Oh, no.
pats Winter on the back. Just, there.
And with that being said, Lapin will fold back, poof, and then appear after a while, poofs back, and she is back in her attack gear.
Okay. All right.
Tempest will open the crate.
Okay. You see a miniature Scranton Reality Anchor in like portable pieces that are obviously meant for transport, with instructions of how to reassemble it, and also a can't counter God damn it. What is goddamn calibrated? Calibrated for the rifts, the weak points in reality.
Do they take into account the bears?
The bears have nothing to do with this.
They're a weak point in the site.
No, because now the bears work for the Foundation, so now it's to our advantage.
Yes. They're in security,
Also-
I think.
Containment.
Containment, okay.
Containment.
Has anybody taken a second glance at Kalinski's face now that he no longer has the gas mask on?
No.
No.
No, Lapin would have
God damn.
to change back into her attack gear, so no.
Okay.
Winter would have as soon as she's done puking.
All right.
Hey.
So is everybody grabbing a piece of the machine? Who's grabbing the can't counter?
Kalinski will.
Okay. All right, the can't counter is pointing you in a direction, but instead of like Humes, it's Rift. And is pointing
Also-
inside the site.
To Winter, what she would see looking at Kalinski is half of his face is covered in a massive, like, purple, hued chemical burn, and he no longer has a right eye.
Okay.
Like, it is just a socket.
Oh, buddy, rough lab accident.
Winter will just say, "Are you okay, man?"
Yeah, it's been like this for a while. That's why I wear the gas mask. A lot of people find it unsettling.
All right, so anyway, you have, we're going to call it the rift meter.
Kalinsky would quickly clean out his gas mask, put it back on, and start following the rift meter.
All right, and who is grabbing a big chunk of part of the reality anchor?
Winter will pick up one piece.
Okay.
Thomas could carry one.
Okay. Yeah. It's in 3 chunks, but each chunk takes a person to carry. They are not
I
light.
can grab one.
Okay. All right, so following the rift meter, you head into the site, down a few flights of stairs, and you end up in a lab. Just one of the science labs. Real, you were not awake for this, but if you remember the report you were probably briefed on, this was the room you emerged from.
Oh, I've been here before.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah.
Kalinsky.
when reality got a hole punched and real fell out, this became a weak point.
Kalinsky would sweep the rift counter across the room, treating it like an EMF meter.
Yep. And as the rift meter gets close, you can see this blinding white crack that splits open, and you can see the same room that you're in, except the lights are off.
I have the right idea.
Guys, I think I found the rift.
And if you walk
All right.
around the rift seems to rotate according to your view. And yeah,
He walks around. Kalinsky walks around to where he's looking at where the door should be to see if there's anyone coming through on that.
the door is closed and the lights are still off.
Alright.
Are we supposed to set up this on our side or their side? Tempest
I
will
would
control-
assume our side, because if we set it up on their side and activate it, we'll be trapped there.
Okay. To repeat.
Not again.
Yeah.
All right. According to the mission, your can't counter will tell you where it needs to be set up in the other dimension. It will be set up in standby mode. When enough of them have been set up by all of the various teams, they will get a signal to all activate simultaneously and lock everything down.
Wow.
So you're just setting it up in standby mode.
And he switches the can't counter over to placement mode and
Okay.
steps through.
All right, so you walk through the rift. You're in the same room, but the lights are off. The only light you have now is from the rift, looking back to where you came from.
Tempest will go through and
Can I try flicking the light switch and mess?
You do, nothing happens.
Loppin is gonna check the in between in this room. We'll just bend back and is in the in between of this room. If you really see anything significant in the kind of the veil of
The in between is so it's like razor thin to you. This would slice you if you tried to be in both for too long.
she will realize that, and she'll flip back in recoil. And she's like, no, we don't get to do that. We don't get to do that. She'll actually pull her mask down a little bit and just kind of puke a spittle out,
Okay.
and she's like, oh my god, you notice like half of her like entire lip right here is just not there.
Oh,
Like it curves around.
like if you
and
walk
just-
through, yeah, if you walk through, it's fine. If you try to go to the in between, it's a paper cut.
yeah.
We failed
Winter just
comedy.
walks through.
Okay.
Oh no. She's on this side, and she flips into her like in between pocket.
She's
you
When
in
you say-
our Site-314.
Yeah,
she's still in. She's in like the in between of the material plane.
She's looking at the rift to see if it's weird in between.
If it's weird in kind of that in between of the different in between, not the
Okay.
in between the rift.
Ethereal.
Okay, I thought you were asking if you were trying to go between the
No,
two
she's a bit-
dimensions.
No, she's ethereal, shifting and looking from the ethereal side.
I'm not sure how to work that. Not entirely sure what you're asking. So you're on. You're still. You're still in the prime site.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how much more to explain beyond it is a crack in reality and you can see an alternate universe on the other side.
Okay, there would not be really a difference. She would be looking for a difference if there was a difference.
Like, it is a different it's an alternate timeline. I don't know how experienced your character is.
She had been in a couple of missions.
Okay, this is just like a shortcut to an alternate timeline.
Okay. What I was asking was like, is there a visual change when she's in the ether? Does it look the same?
Oh, yeah, it still looks the same.
Okay, then she wouldn't make note. It still looks the same. Go back into the proper
Okay.
flow, and she's like, nope, not on my end.
Okay, so two of you have already confirmed going through.
Tempest will pull out a light bulb from his pocket and just energize it.
Okay. Anybody else walking through?
Yep.
Real will go through, but he's like, oh, lights are off. That is not good. That is not good.
All right, so that is 3 of you, Winter, Tempest, Real.
Ivo's
I also
in
said
there.
I'd go.
Ivo.
Ivo, Nez, okay. So everybody
Violet
but...
went through too.
Okay, so now everybody but... God damn it. Lapin? Was that your character's name? Lapin, okay. Is Lapin going through?
Watching that that she would be the only one on this side, she's gonna be like, if everyone's going, I should go. And she kind of just walks through. She doesn't stop. She just walks through.
Okay.
Kalinsky with the the rift. What do we call it? Oh, God.
The
The camp
reality
counter.
anchor. Yeah.
The rift counter, yeah.
Yeah.
He has it in like placement mode, and is directing the people with the parts where to put.
Yeah. It is pointing more or less straight up right now.
Let's put it up, a floor up.
Doesn't give you a distance, just a direction. However, you are in this room. It is dark aside from what light Tempest is providing. What you doing?
Hey, Temp. Do you mind coming with me for something? I gotta see something.
We're all gonna go if we're going somewhere. And
Yeah.
Tempest pulls out his pistol as well.
Yeah. Kalinsky has his Webley revolver out as well as I assume it's like an EMF reader size thing.
Okay, so what is everybody doing?
Winter's carrying the thing,
Yeah.
following the rest of the party.
Kalinsky is going upstairs, or
Okay,
like trying to find his way upstairs.
all right. So you go for the door, and it is locked.
Is it a mechanical lock or an electrical lock?
It is an electrical lock.
All right.
And he waves over to Tempest a bit and steps away from the door.
Tempest will elemental fist the lock.
All right. I gotta say, you are used to the correct voltage for electronics.
Yeah.
So it goes back on, and it is awaiting credentials.
The Tempest will attempt to bypass that and just go straight for the unlock mechanism.
All right, let's see. What are we gonna roll? Computers.
+3. So, question: is it just like each column represents a dice in my pool, or do I just roll what I have? 4 that I have.
Each column is 1 die, so there's 4
Okay.
die, and they each get upgraded. So you just use the top of each column.
2, 10 then. 6, 7, 8, 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay, that just barely beats the rating. Alright, so you are used to these, and this seems to have been degraded a bit. And it shudders, but then finally says granted, and the door just kind of unlatches, but doesn't move.
Kalinsky would...
Tempest will point the gun at the door and then just slowly pull it open.
Intimidate on the door.
No, not intimidating the door, but like, just in case
I
there's
think he
something
needs it to
directly
push.
behind it.
You're at the ready, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you slide open the door. It is darkness in the hallway.
Okay.
Kalinsky steps up with Tempest, gun drawn, and like gives him a glance. Like, revolver in one hand, wrist counter in the other, and just ready to advance with Tempest.
Guns are two-handed no matter what.
Oh.
That wasn't the rules.
Alright.
Kalinsky does not have his pistol drawn.
Okay. Alright, what is everybody else doing? The door has opened that is darkness beyond. I'm gonna have to start calling on people.
Winter is going to slowly follow whoever is going, because she ain't going first.
Okay, was Tempest going first?
Yeah, Tempest will lead.
Okay, Tempest is on point.
From behind Tempest's like shoulder, like a little skull pops up like a hand puppet, and Real's like, "It's awful scary in here, isn't it?" With the clanking of the skull.
Tempest Elemental blasts it.
Tempest, no. Tempest.
Kalinsky's on
This
Tempest.
thing was so valuable.
Kalinsky is on Tempest's other flank. Whichever side Real is on, Kalinsky's on the other side with the reality counter.
Is there anybody not following Tempest and the crew?
Miss, what's your character's name again?
I would be following the crew.
Okay.
Lapin
Did you say
specifically
something to me, Real?
would have her flashlight mod
Yep.
on her rifle on.
Mm-hmm.
Real, did
Okay.
you
So
say
we have
something
two
to me?
choices. Like,
Yeah, Real, what did you ask?
What is your character's name?
I think I
Wasn't it
called him
Violet?
Tony. I
Oh,
don't
God.
remember. He's a placeholder, man.
God,
Whatever
fucking
happens
damn
to
it,
him
name.
happens.
There is a lot of talking going on. Nez, what was the character's name?
I said, I think I called him Tony. I don't really remember. He's a placeholder. Whatever happens to him happens.
Okay. We can retcon it later if you decide to change it.
You're just taking
Yeah.
stuff back. All with me.
Okay, so yeah, the rift meter, it is pointing you near straight up.
Dr. Real, can you punch a hole in the ceiling?
You know,
That's
frankly,
terrible.
Tempest, I'm not sure. Probably. And he pulls out like a book that the outside of it looks like it's in the shifting state of like bone and flesh, like how a piece of art can be lenticular, like that.
Did you pick up necromancy?
Huh?
Are you practicing necromancy?
Listen, magic broke. I had to sort something out. Now I got a spooky head and a spooky book. Okay.
Oh, okay then.
Okay, so there's punching through the ceiling, or there's the stairs or the elevator.
At least he would.
So
Lapin will take the elevator.
Okay, you tried the elevator. No response.
I'd like
You push
to,
the button, nothing happens.
I will try to punch through the ceiling. It is
Are we talking a physical punch or what?
like so my theme with my theme with this book is very like Scarlet Kingy, and a lot of the what am I looking for here? Iconography is going to be around like spooky hands, like kind of like a clump, but the Scarlet King, right? Spooky hands growing out of each other, like that. That's a lot of our iconography for this.
Okay, but are you physically punching a hole through the ceiling?
With a big magic hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try what you would know your spells better than me.
Yeah, so first, all right, so if I understand this correctly, do I apply the multiplier when I roll the skill?
All right, thaumaturgy. See, I got as far as reality bending.
And skills in general, am I applying the multiplier when I roll a skill?
Yes.
Okay.
You got your roll, you got the two highest, and then you got whatever level training you have in your thaumaturgy skill, and that leveling gets multiplied by the multiplier and then added to your 2 dice.
Okay, so if you look, are you at that page in the book?
Yeah.
So knowledge index peaks at so my knowledge index for my grimoire is 12. And my like the highest, so to conjure a spell, basically to create a spell, you are rolling difficulty plus knowledge index to create your like difficulty score. I will let you know I cannot fail that roll. And then
all right, just for this first session, we're gonna say you did it.
okay.
So what is this, giant fist?
Yeah, it's like a giant hand that's just gonna come up and attempt at least to punch through the ceiling.
Okay, so we're gonna say it does, and now there's a big hole in the ceiling. Also, there are still stairs.
Tempest flies up, drops down a rope from its climbing gear.
Okay.
We don't take stairs here.
All right, you are one level higher.
Listen, the last time we took stairs, Madison Bell didn't have any feet.
Um,
I'm gonna go start up the stairs. This is a lot
Okay.
for a very easy to fix problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalinsky makes
Follow.
good stairs.
Tony on the stairs.
Stairs. Okay. All right. So
Tempest,
using the stairs,
you
you
want
can
me?
go up more than one floor at a time.
At the floor just
Ooh,
above us, does
not
it look
now.
like the reality counter has changed direction? Or is
It
it
is
still pointing
still
upwards?
pointing up.
Then Kalinsky keeps going up until it points not up.
All right. So eventually, you hit the ground floor, which is where most of the facilities in the site are: cafeteria, shooting range, rec rooms, offices. You get out of the stairwell, and it is quiet and dark.
Can we go
Does
by the
the-
cafeteria, please? I'm hungry.
Do you want to go to the cafeteria?
Yes.
I highly doubt that they have any
I-
edible food here.
I'm still hungry.
I never sorted this out because I'm still working on it. But hi. Lappin is gonna want to um for once, and I did not look at the reality bending enough. You would see her like kind of like fall back as she kind of just inverts
Okay.
onto the ceiling.
You're doing
And
what to
she's
the
on
ceiling?
She just
Walking up.
inverts her reality,
Okay.
her gravity
All
a little
right.
bit.
Yeah, for this first session, everything just works.
Yeah. This is the
All right,
thing I literally will use because if we're outside, why would you?
All right, so Winter's going to the cafeteria. You find there is no one there, but there are abandoned plates of food.
Does any of it smell edible?
Okay, none of it seems to have gone bad, but there's no heat anymore. Like, it's all room temperature.
There's a
Winter wouldn't care. She goes straight for like the ground meat and or steak stuff.
Room temperature, but yeah, like, hasn't quite gone bad yet.
And starts eating as much as possible because she is ravenous right now.
All right. Tony, what you doing?
Reform the Roman Empire.
Apparently, I'm reforming the Roman Empire. Sorry.
What?
My brother's here, and he's telling me about one of his video games, and he's currently killing it, and a lot of people in that process. And he is aiming to reform the Roman Empire.
Okay.
You wanna
So
say
anyway,
hi?
what is
You can
Tony
say hi.
doing
So,
in this facility that is mysteriously empty?
There don't happen to be any papers laying around, do there?
Oh yeah, like
Okay.
there are a lot of files that seem to have been dropped where they were.
Those can definitely fit in a pocket.
Yeah, you can take whatever loose files you want.
Dope. Slowly following the group and just going, ooh, a paper. Ooh, a paper. Just not loudly.
All right, so we got winter eating. Lappin, on the roof. What you doing on the roof? Or the ceiling. What you doing on the ceiling?
She's gonna kind of look at like cameras in a more closer way and see. She's gonna kind of scan the rooms from just a not traditional perspective point.
All right. Nothing has any power. Like, there's no dust on the ground or anything. Dust has not settled. But there's not even the hum of electricity. You don't hear anyone.
Is there any does anything look like there were signs of struggle?
Nope.
She would try to go look for the offices if there is any. Like, is this clearly to us a mirror of 314?
Well, not a mirror. But it is the same layout.
Okay, she's gonna look. She's gonna try to look for the camera room.
All right.
She's gonna look at if there's any like footage of what happened.
All right. Any kind of secure room would be shut, locked, and there's no power to the door.
Did we say that in the ethereal world I don't care about doors?
For this first session, we're saying sure, whatever. I don't know if you have any kind of limit, but yeah, you can walk through it this time.
Okay.
There is no one inside. None of the equipment has any power.
Okay.
All right, real violent. What you two doing?
By the way.
Oh, you still going up floors?
Yeah, I'm still gonna go up floor.
Okay, so
for everyone trailing behind Reels just to make sure he doesn't lose his mind.
Okay. So for everyone who took the stairs, every few minutes you hear another thud from the direction you came from, but you know exactly what it is.
No, Tempest would have keep going up, and then he would have gone to the stairs. Because he needed Real to punch the hole through the ceiling.
It was important, damn it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ivo, the rift meter is still pointing more or less straight up.
Huh. What are you gonna do? Are there any more stairs going upwards?
Yeah, there is a stairwell heading towards the roof.
I can fly us up to the roof real quick.
Kalinsky would take those stairs and head up to the roof.
Okay. The door is locked. It is not like a keypad lock, it is like traditional key lock.
Kalinsky would clip the reality count or the rift counter or whatever it's called to his belt and pull out his E-tool and just kind of break the doorknob off.
Alright. And thinking brawn, is there a better thing than brawn? Mechanics. Yeah, mechanics is like an appropriate skill.
Teresa would be proud.
Okay, do you know how to roll?
Not really.
Okay, first off, do you have any training in mechanics?
No, I have training in Marines, but I am just kind of breaking it off.
I could teach you training in mechanics. I have a
We don't have
certificate.
that kind of time.
You're right, it would take 30 hours to give you one level.
Alright, we'll just do brawn then.
Which I assume is strength.
Yeah, it is strength based. So, how many dice? How many columns of dice do you have?
I have a single D20.
That what? This system doesn't use d20s.
D12.
D12.
Top.
Oh.
So you have a D12.
No, I
and
have the one just above the D6.
Okay,
D8.
so how many? So you've only added one die to strength?
Yep.
Okay, so then you would have a d8 and a d6. You would roll those two, add the top two numbers, which for you are all of them, and that's your brawn.
All right, let me pull up a dice roller. So 6d8, and then add the top two numbers.
Which is
Together.
both of them, yeah. And do you have any training in brawn?
No.
Okay, then yeah, the dice alone are all you get.
That is 10. I guess.
10? Oh, okay, yeah, you did meet. It is. 8 is an easy check. Yeah, you did manage to break the knob off. The
I
door
don't have
is.
time for locks.
Yeah. All right, so the door is now like no longer latched.
He pushes it open and puts the E-tool back, brings back out the rift counter, and sees if it's still pointing up.
Okay. And you walk out onto the roof?
Yep.
All right. You get on the roof. You can feel the breeze. You hear no sign of life anywhere. And the air is fresher than you have ever experienced.
He's wearing a gas mask.
True. All right, so the rift meter is now pointing to the center of the roof.
Do we have radio communication between us?
Yeah.
Klinsky would radio to the guys holding the SRAs, the SRA parts, and just tell them, "Hey, come up to the roof. I found the spot where we're supposed to put it."
The Tempest will walk out the front door, fly up to the roof, land.
Okay, but where did you leave the
He's
very
scared to
heavy
fuck.
piece of the
Good.
reality anchor?
He has fairly decent strength.
That's
Winter will slowly walk up the stairs with a giant steak in her mouth, still chewing on it, carrying the giant thing, walks up, places it on the roof.
All right, and
So
for
cool.
everyone else, for everyone but Ivo, as you get up and get into the fresh air, it is the cleanest, most fragrant breeze you have ever experienced.
Oh yeah.
The Tempest will drop off his cart and then fly up and like look at the nearby town of Snoqualmie to see if there's any signs of life there.
You said you're flying up and looking?
Yep.
There is no movement.
Oh.
And as you look back down, you see covering the entire landscape, everywhere there's normally grass, it is just wildflowers.
I was really hoping that the only difference between our timeline and this timeline was that the light in that room was off, but that doesn't seem to be the case. That was a possibility. I want everyone to know that that was a possibility. Although it's slim.
Hey guys, quick question. If all the electricity here is off, and normally aren't like all the like more monstrous creatures locked up by electricity? Where the fuck are those?
I'd assume where the rest of the Foundation staff is.
Does anyone want to go down and check the containment cells?
That is not our problem right
now.
Kalinsky would switch the reality counter to construction mode and just
put that together ourselves.
Yeah. You have a manual. It is a simplified reality anchor. It is not meant to be long lasting. It is like click the pieces together.
They gave us a Scranton reality Lego set.
Yeah.
Are there pictures?
Any radios? So
yes.
Currently, 2 pieces are on the roof.
It's an IKEA
Where's the
manual.
Yeah, who had the third piece?
Did
Tony?
Did I say that I was coming up in my head and forget to say it out loud? My apologies.
Okay.
All right, that's 3. Now,
All right,
who remembered to bring the manual?
It's the manual also has a PDF on the counter.
Guys, we don't need instructions. I can just put this together. Come on.
That's kind of what I meant by switching to construction mode.
Oh, checking the PDF?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, the instructions are pretty easy to follow.
All right, put that one there, click that one into place there, and place that one into that slot.
All right. Also, if anybody wants to roll perception while this is going on.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
You see, my perception's kind of fucked.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to roll too. D847-2's been here the whole time.
18.
Nice.
I rolled double 9s on my D10s.
2 10s, 2 8s. All right, that is 14. All right. So I think Tempest got the highest.
Yeah. 18.
All right. So yeah, you get all the pieces together. We'll say D8472 had the manual, and you're having him assemble it while everyone else checks the surroundings. And Tempest, now that you're on the roof, you're much closer to the ground than you were when you were flying. You notice something between the flowers.
Oh.
Clothing.
Did they get daybreaked but wildflowers?
This is one of the fuck. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say the words. Somebody please help me.
You could either be saying XK or
Thank you.
001 proposal.
Either or is
Yeah.
what I was probably trying to say.
Yeah.
That's why I went, oh, earlier when Del said there were wildflowers everywhere.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't think we should stay here much longer.
Don't worry.
Uh,
The anchor is
Like-
almost set up.
There's a pair of pants between those pansies.
The more you look, the more clothing you can see. And the clothing is not empty.
Oh.
There are also like a bunch of D-class mixed in, a bunch of anomalies. Everyone who was in the site is out in the field.
Tempest looks at that nearby mountain that was turning into a glass castle.
It is still a mountain.
Okay, thank God we don't have to deal with that.
All right. So is anybody else doing anything while D8472 gets this constructed?
Ready with the gun and his dagger. Just in
Alright.
case.
Alright. Now, road support A goes into slot B there.
Yeah. All right. So takes like half an hour, but finally last piece is slid in, hooked up, and you see a little blinking standby light indicating it is ready to go.
Kalinsky would double check using the RC just to make
The
sure
what?
that everything's working. RC, reality counter, or rift counter, whatever.
Oh, okay, the can't counter. Can't with
Yeah,
a K.
whatever. So the KC, whatever.
Wait,
Like in Immanuel Kant.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Did you say there was
Whatever. He's using
D8472?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's been there. He's gonna hook it up. He's doing the manual labor.
Oh, good. He's alive and well. That's good.
Yeah,
Barely.
barely. Yeah.
Kalinsky is using the KC just to make sure that it's working.
Don't abbreviate. It's just confusing.
Can't
Fine,
counter.
he's using the can't counter to make sure it's working.
You're
Thank you.
you're reducing it by one syllable. Okay. Yeah.
It's one syllable less I have to say.
All right. So yeah, after a while, you check all the boxes. It is humming and ready to go.
Alright, let's get out of here.
All right. All right. There are no impediments on the way back for hopefully obvious reasons.
Winter goes back, grabs another steak, runs back.
All right. You all meet up back in the science lab.
Yeah.
All right. The rift is still there.
Kalinsky is kind of waving everyone through.
Lappin in a motion of fuck this bullshit goes back through the reality that she's supposed to be in. Well, she's
dear.
supposed to be in now.
Okay. Right. All right. Is anybody else not going through?
Tempest will go through last.
Last. Okay. So I take it everyone is going through?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Oh, that is robotic.
Hey, Tony, are you new on site?
Yeah, why?
Oh, me too, me too. Actually, I just got hired literally today.
Don't you lie,
Oh.
motherfucker.
That's not a lie.
Okay.
They took me off payroll.
All right, so you make it back into the science lab. Cerise is in there waiting for you. It's like,
I assume we've all gone back through by now.
yeah. All right, I'll be expecting your report in the morning.
For now, I can tell you that the SRA is online.
Good, good. Well, when we get the next module, we'll be sure to send you out.
All right.
And Kalinsky keeps the can't counter clipped to his belt. It's still useful.
So I'm trying to decide, would she have that kept in a more centralized location? Yeah. She's gonna ask for it back.
Kalinsky somewhat begrudgingly takes it off his belt and hands it over.
Good. It will be securely kept in this room where the rift is located.
Copy that.
All right.
I would
And
recommend locking this door to any personnel.
Oh, yeah. So this has already been evacuated, repurposed. It is only to be used for these missions.
The Tempest looks at his watch. How long were we in there?
She compares to her watch and your times match.
Okay.
Well, that at least means there's no chronological distortion.
Yet. All right. You've made it back. And that is the end of the first session.
Woo! Woot!
All right, so
kind of late, but
and hopefully everyone knows how character advancement works. It is way easier than character creation.
I get nothing.
Oh, you took
Yeah.
Amida? Oh no.
I get mine. Not very many.
Okay, it is on you to spend whatever points your sheet says you get before next session. You do not get to stockpile. It is use it or lose it.
Tim, we made my character a 10, right?
A what?
Middle of the road.
Oh.
I don't know.
Or destruction class.
You should have your sheet.
Yeah, you should mark that down on your sheet.
Yes.
But yes, chapter bonus, it will tell you how many dice, where you can spend the dice, and how many skill points. And keep in mind, skill points are not 1 point per level. They get more expensive the higher up they are. Kind of like spending cards in Never Going Home to increase your core stats.
Were we supposed to get drama cards before this session?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I will send each of you drama cards once I get off.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, send me exactly the page that says how what the point buy is for skills.
It's similar to first edition, where like you have to spend the amount that you're trying to buy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like if you want to get from 3 points to 4 points, it's from training of 3 to 4, it's 4 points. You want to go from 4 to 5, 5 points. If you want to go from 3 to 5, 9 points.
Okay, thank you. So like every in the start, it's 1 unless you want to add more than 1.
No. It's 1 for the first one. The second one is 2. The third one is 3. The fourth one is 4, and it's cumulative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, if you were to have 63 points that you didn't spend in
those
the
are gone.
Yeah.
You have to spend those before you lock in your character, which you still have the time to do.
No, yeah, no. It's the I did not take a lot of attribute like attributes. The first thing, the why
Talent,
you can
history.
abilities. Sorry.
Oh.
Are we talking the dice?
I'm told that your the what became her history and her talent.
Oh, okay. So the stuff you get for your disruption class. And age.
She is Amita and I think adult or middle.
Yep. Amita gets 30 talent points, 30 power points, and 30 history points. Those are spent on the attributes. No.
I have
The feats, what are they called?
Aspects.
Aspects, yes.
I already did my aspects.
Leftover talent and history turn into skill. Leftover power turns into
Dice
attribute
tokens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Before you get to next session, lock in your character. Unspent talent and history becomes points for skills. Training skills is not 1-to-1. It's more expensive every point you go up.
Okay, like you said, it's 1, 3, 5
Total, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you wanted to jump from 1 to whatever, it's the Fibonacci. Sort of.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not the Fibonacci. It's a ladder. It's stairs, not spiral.
It increased by 1 point every time you buy it.
Yes, it is 1 point more expensive per level of trading than the previous level of training.
Spammers in.
Oh. Okay. All right. I'm about to end the stream. Any last words?
Always punch Nazis.
Always punch Nazis.
That's how I end every stream.
Yep. Night, everybody.
Alright.
Good night.